Welcome.
You are watching Line Screw 1.
You know, many questions have been asked over the years about the RV nomads, and there's one topic that nobody's really dived in before, and it just hit me like a light bulb above my head. And the question is, are the RV full-time nomads stinky? And the reason it's very apropos to right now is because I am full-time and I gotta budget my water. But yet, for some reason, I'm able to run an electric razor through this and trim the rest of it with a blade. I managed to pull that off. Don't know why I'm budgeting that time when I could just let it all grow out and I could look like Santa Claus. Maybe get a gig at the mall in December for Christmas, you know. Hey, those Christmas Santa Claus gigs are, you know, pretty juicy. You know, perfect job for the nomad that can pass a background check from the mall. You know what I'm saying? But seriously, folks, here is what occurred to me, is that there's a couple varieties of the full-time RV nomads. The Wheeled Wonders, as Blind Views says. I had to steal that from you, Blind Views, because it's a really good phrase. But giving credit where credit is due. So here's the deal. We got the RV nomads that look like HE double hockey sticks. Me being Canadian, I gotta say hockey, you know. HE double hockey sticks, they look that way all the time. Because they're trying to extract so much money off of the YouTubes and from the e-bagging that, you know, they're camping where there's very little water. So they can't fill up very often and do that kind of stuff. So I kind of get that. It's kind of a necessity of the situation, you know, because they didn't have enough of that money to afford, you know, 40, 50, 60 bucks a night at an RV park. I get it. It makes perfect sense. But there's another group that always really perplexes me a lot more, is the ones that, one video, they actually look very presentable. I'm not going to mention who I'm talking about. There's a few people, but there's, you know, a couple of the more prominent Wheeled Wonders in the RV full-time world that one day after they stay at a Holiday Inn Express, they look pretty good, you know. They even get their hair cut occasionally. And they're looking quite presentable. And then a week later, they look like, oh boy, they look like they just ended a bender and were beaten with a hockey stick by like 5 big guys. And not very tidy, not very clean, you know, because even a $20 lady of the night can clean up after a good shower and a haircut and a few other things, you know what I'm saying? But it begs the question of when they shove a camera in their face, just like I'm doing right now. I've got a camera in my face. They see what's going on. Like I got a monitor right there. I can actually see what's in the shot. So they don't even question the fact that, hey, you know, I'm looking pretty scary, pretty unkempt, very untidy, but they don't care because they want the monies. It's all about the monies from the YouTubes. They gotta keep their people happy and friendly. You know what I'm saying? Who are the friendlies? The friendlies are just people who love people. So I wonder why these people actually shove a camera in their face when they know full well, you know, these are YouTube veterans. These are veteran full-time nomads. They know that one minute they look okay and the next minute they look like scary. You know, some of the ladies are looking like, you know, you're not going to take that home to see mom. You ain't meeting mom looking like that. That's how scary we're talking, you know. And some of the guys, of course, same deal. You ain't bringing that home. But I don't know why they don't have insight. You know, they have no feedback about that. It's very, very perplexing. And then you got the ones that look fantastic all the time. It's like they're having 3 showers a day. And they probably are. Because they're not full-time RV nomads. No, they're not. They're staying at the Holiday Inn Express every night, and when they're not doing that, they're staying at mom and dad's place in that free suite in the basement, perhaps. Or they're actually just faking the whole thing until they're making it, and they got a nice condo at Marina Del Rey or some other place in Florida, you know. That's just the way it is, because it's so perplexing how people present themselves on YouTube, and not a lot of thought goes into how they actually appear. It's very strange. Like, for example, let's say I was editing this video, and on the big screen I got a big booger up my nose. Another RV nomad would say, largest nomad booger available now. You know, they put some clickbait video trying to highlight how big their booger is and how their boogers are bigger than any other nomad out there. Click on the video and find out how big my booger is. Maybe even check out my sweaty, stinky armpits while you're at it. Because the only saving grace that we got so far on YouTube's about the wheeled wonders and the RV nomads is that there's no smell-o-vision. So we can't really smell how stinky the nomads are. And I think that's a wonderful thing. Now, how many of you have ever watched one of these full-time RVers and wondered, hey, how stinky are you really? Because I want to know. You know, there's times I want to know how stinky they are. Now, I don't want to smell them. I just want to get some empirical data on how stinky they are, you know, just to kind of do a little meta-analysis across the board about all these RV nomads. I just want to see what the mean, median, and mode averages are for stink level factors for the RV full-time nomads. Because I'm a curious guy. That's the thing. I got so much time up here in the Canadian wilderness, I just only have time for having the light bulbs go up above my head so that I can think of crazy things to ask questions from you guys, because my audience is very smart, and they got some funny things and interesting things to say about this. I know for a fact. I just wonder how they manage to do it, and how stinky they are, and maybe how not stinky some of them are that are faking it. It's always something I'm curious about. So I want you to put your comments down below and tell me who's got the super stink factor 7 going on, and who is absolutely super squeaky clean, so clean that they actually may not even be a full-time nomad, because I'm curious about that. We all know who could be a fake nomad. There's a few nomads out there with the bushy beards. They're earning hundreds of thousands of dollars now, that they actually can't spend all that money, you know, on the internets, because suddenly the followers will realize that, hey, this dude isn't even doing this kind of lifestyle anymore. He's faking it now because, you know, he's too rich to be homeless in a van, sort of thing. Not mentioning names here, not mentioning names. You can speculate all you want on who I may be talking about, but it does pose some very valid questions. So put your comments down below on the RV Stink Factor 7 and who you think would win that award. So it is a beautiful day here in the hinterland of Canada's western province here of British Columbia, and all the power boats are zooming by, all the sea-doers, all the weekend warriors. They got all their little backbiting brats out there screaming and yelling. It's all part of the fun, I guess, but you know, what can you do? We're moving into that slow peak camping season where we got a lot of camper pampers out there and weekend warriors and, you know, all those city slickers that don't really understand that, you know, camping's an everyday thing for people like me, and I don't have to get too exuberant about it because I don't have to clock in on Monday morning at some job I hate. But all I can say is, if you are working at a job you hate, well, that nomad life is waiting for you, and perhaps you too could be as stinky as F. If you put your mind to it and become a wheeled wonder, traveling around the hinterlands and the forested regions of North America, hiding out just like the rest of us wheeled wonders. Okay, I've ranted enough about it, but please, Tell me who you think is the stinkiest and who's the cleanest. Really want to know who those people are, because I got my own list and you got yours. So in the meantime, folks, stay safe and keep your wheels on the ground, and I'll talk to you soon. Over and out.
Can go to figure out what we've done, what we need to do. Yeah, I got you, I got you, I got you.